Today's topic is for the youth and for all the people who are young at heart and want to make better money decisions. How many of you agree with me that we can make better money decisions? What you have done in the past, if given a chance to relive, do you think it can be done a little bit better? Maybe save a little bit more, maybe enjoy a little bit more, maybe splurge a little bit more on some dreams and aspirations? Maybe there are some goals which you have achieved, but if you had a little bit more money to spend on those specific goals, it could be as simple as enjoying at one of the fantasy lands, the Universal Studios, Disney World, or it could be some travel event in the mountains, just being yourself for a few hours or a few days on a cruise, anything. The money decisions could have been more fun. Do you agree with me? You have to stand on your own feet. This is one statement I believe all of us have heard it from our parents and grandparents. And what I add to it is don't defend the past, attack the future. Faith is taking the first step even if you don't see this whole staircase. This was said by Martin. So, the idea about faith, trust yourself that your money decisions can be great, your money decisions can be good. And if the youth can be guided in a proper way, if the decisions that we take have some concrete calculations to be done before you do that, trust me, whatever you've learned till today, there will be surely some adding value to it today. That is what I'm here for. The faith is the important thing which everybody should have in all the possible aspects of life. Objective of the workshop, it is aimed for the youngsters who are joining their careers right now, who have complex financial decisions to make in the near future. And this workshop will help them decide a notch better than where they were today. Now, can I ask a few questions to all of you? You can introspect and give me a reply later on in the session. What do you understand with the word freedom? Most of you will remember the freedom that our freedom fighters got us for, freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of expression. But have we talked about financial freedom? We will come to that a little bit later in the show. What do you understand with the word savings? Savings basically means investing or keeping the money for earning some income without taking risk. And the difference between investment and savings is the word risk. Now, a lot of times people say that you should be against risk taking investments. Sadly, I defer to agree. If everything is on the edge, if a boat is made to sail in the deep seas, and if you keep it at the shore, is it going to solve your purpose? Your capital has to be at some amount of risk. I'm not telling you to go heads on risk, but keeping your money absolutely 100% of your wealth in a savings bank account or an FD will surely ruin your capital growth. The capital would be secure, but understand one simple thing. If 6% is the FD interest today, hypothetically, and you are paying 30% taxes on it, what in hand you have is 4.2%. Whereas if inflation is 5%, actually you are losing in your buying power by almost a percent every year. I'm not against bank FDs. I'm not against saving instruments with or without risk. But everything, okay, let's put it in simple words. Apple is the best thing to have in a day. An apple a day keeps a doctor away. But what if you are fed with apple 365 days a year, three times a day, and the only meal given to you is an apple? How excited or how would you look at an apple after that? I believe after 3 days of it, apple a day will be away from you for life. So it is simply that you need to have a mixture of investments and savings. And most of us understand money with power. Do you agree with me? You can reply to me in chat box. Most of us understand money as power. Most of us understand money as buying power, authority, money as something to hoard, money as something to grow on. Different meanings of the same word money. And if I ask most of the people whom I meet, what is your relationship with money? Most of them will say that we are running after money, but money doesn't come. Or money is there in abundance. There is totally a contra of statement which people will feel. Now, just to share with you, a swan and a crane look alike. Both of them have same habitat, same color, and most of them are seen at times together. Most of the time you will see them together. But the difference is who picks up the fish and who picks up a pearl. A crane picks up fishes, whereas a swan will only pick up a pearl. You give a bundle of stones to them, a heap of stones, and one pearl below that, the swan will find the pearl. It'll never pick up a pebble. If you understand money in today's workshop a little bit notch better than what you knew before, imagine you picking up the pearls and leaving the stones away. That will be the difference. Most of the people you meet around, some people who's joined businesses and jobs at your age, some of them have been picking pearls and making a lot of money and being financially free. And some of them are yet struggling for their bread and butter. Why is this? A man is made by the choices he makes. Understanding money and money relationship is important. As I said, what is the relationship of money with you? Do you look at money as abundance? Do you look at money as just a commodity of exchange? Or do you look at money as life and lifeline? It all depends upon what you look at money. And if I would ask one more question, what do you understand of cash flow? Generally, it is said cash is king. This is a statement which most of us have heard it before many times. But what is cash flow? Cash flow is kingdom. Imagine a king without his kingdom. How would it be? So, if you live in a palatial house, you live with all the best of amenities, and you don't have money coming on a yearly or a monthly or a weekly basis, how would it be? Let me put it for businessmen in a different word. You have a factory with machinery worth crores of rupees, but if you don't have raw material coming on a daily basis for production, or the cash requirement to pay staff salaries and electricity bills, do you think your kingdom will actually have any wealth in the near future? Will the machineries not rust away? Similarly, the cash flow, if it is not there, the richest of rich people can go bankrupt. So the most important thing to understand is relationship with money. Now, just adding a few things. There are four C's of life. We create wealth, that can we call it earning of income or whatever. We are just using the C's over here. So we talk about creation of wealth. Once you create wealth, what do you do generally is spend the money. So we are calling it as consume wealth. The third, we're talking about you save money. So we're talking about conserving wealth. But the last exercise is most of the people miss around is continuation of wealth. Imagine something wherein you can talk about money coming to you day in, day out without your personal efforts. There are four types of incomes. One, active income, which is with the efforts of your body, intellect, and time that you devote. Second type of income is semi active income. Can we call it rental income? Third type of income is the one which is passive but not guaranteed. It could be from mutual funds and bank FDs. You know the state of banks in India, what is happening currently. The interest rates are falling. Some of the banks also sadly have fallen. And the fourth is what I talk about, continuation of income. Imagine yourself on the first of the month, every month, 8 o'clock in the morning, when the bank opens and you get a message on your mobile. The pop up says X amount is put into your account. The best part is it does not check what you did of the last month's X, because every month this X is confirmed coming to your bank accounts. So that is continuation of income. Now, generally, people have spending habits. Now, there are some good spending habits and bad spending habits. The habits that continue to get you wealth would be counted as good spending habits. The ones which you spend on your savings, and the one, if you are into gambling or overspending, that would be a bad habit. So that is basically, if you measure your spending folios, your profile of how you spent a last few months of your money, you will understand that only 20 to 30% is actually required for our needs. A big amount we spend is because of our wants. Our wants are like social recognition. I need the new iPhone because the old one is now old. The new version has come out, so I want the new phone. I want the new dress for a party today or a party in the weekend, simply because last time what I wore, I cannot repeat my dresses or my suits. So that is a problem again. Whereas, what if most of us during pre-lockdown times used to go to the malls? X amount is in your pocket. Let's take it hypothetically, 10,000 was in your pocket. What is the amount with a family of four have you actually come back with? I believe the balance would be negative. Probably you would have some swiped some credit cards also before coming home. So those are bad spending habits because you did not want the product, but you just went to the market and you purchased it. Whereas good spending habits would be, first you would save the money and then put it to your spending pockets. Can you go to the next? Four types of saving habits leave to four types of individuals. One, who earn 100% and spend 100%. So this type of a person is very stable till the time his income, active income, is taking care of him. The second category, the less spoken about better, but you will see them many across you. They earn 100 rupees and they spend 105 because they live on credit, either borrowing it from friends, family, and also from the financial institutes. Third category of people, generally, they do save, but they don't plan. So they save 20% of their wealth and consume 80%. And the last and the most important category of people whom we want to work with is the person who earns money, first talks about continuation of income and then talks about anything else. So these are the type of people we want to go ahead with. So the first thing when you earn money, what you should do is secure what you earn. This is a contingency plan for all of us. That is the first thing. Like normally I talk to people and the students around. Once you have a shower, first you need is the basic clothing. Then you can wear a three-piece suit, you can wear a hat, you can wear a tie or tie pin or whatever. So first is your contingency plans. Secure what you own, secure whom you love, secure your older self, because the first person that you have to care is your own older self. And generally, we are the luteras of our future because we overspend at today's income to live today's lifestyle, not bothering about tomorrow. Emergency fund. This is one of the core things which you should have. We used to talk to people much before COVID that 6 months of your income should be in semi liquid and 6 months should your living expenses should be in liquid money. Liquid money could be a bank safe savings account deposit, an FD, a liquid fund, or an arbitrage fund, wherein you can withdraw money with a throw of a pen. So that emergency fund. Okay, one more thing, you can remove money from equities as well, but there is an exit clause. So we are talking about emergency fund without any exit load. Third is monitor your personal cash flow. Now, a government does budgeting. Everybody knows about it. In the month of February, there is a huge hue and cry talking about budgets. But do we have a family budget? Do we know how much are we going to earn tentatively this year and what has been our spending habits? Do we have a record of what we earn and how have we spent? Understand, we as financial planners are also plumbers who fix the leakages in your house. Most of the people do not know about leakages. What is a leakage? The unrequired cash flow out of your bucket of wealth is leakage. Now, what I mean by this is whatever be your cash flow, visualize a bucket being filled with a running tap. The money is coming in form of water in the bucket, but a bucket has a few tiny holes in the bottom, which look very negligible compared to the flow. But understand, the flow may not last for a lifetime, but the leakage will ruin your lifetime savings. So, record keeping of where you spend, how you spend, what have been your needs, and what have been your luxuries will always be a blessing for you. Savings and investments, as we spoke about, we will skip to the next. Now, what is the general savings should be? What are the needs? First of all, whatever you spend, if you can split it between what are your basic requirements, what are your wants, and what is left for savings, this will help you in the record keeping as well. Next. Cash flow management. We cannot increase the income of an individual. All we can do is wherever you stand and where you want to go, we can map the goals. We are, as financial advisors, also an Ola and a Uber service, which take you from where you are and where you aspire to be. As you use an app, you would see your current location. So in financial planning, the first thing we look at what you have and what you aspire to have. And then we'll give you alternative routes like the Ola app stating this will take 5 minutes longer. And if you go the wrong way, we are not the ones who will get angry. We will only show you the way back to your goals. Start creating saving goals. Now, this is a very powerful statement if you understand. You need not always save with a goal in intent. Like most of the people have been saving because it's a daughter's marriage, it's a son's education, it is old age. But what if those are voluntary and involuntary? Your habit, if it is of saving, the instruments don't matter. Now, I'll just share one simple concept with you. If a 25-year-old is earning 5 lakh rupees hypothetically today and his income grows by 10%, by the time he is 60, do you imagine what is the wealth he would have earned? If the income is growing by 10%, he starts with 5 lakhs, the total earning till 60 will be close to 15 crores. Is that a huge amount we can talk about? The total earning span in 35 years is going to be 15 crores. And imagine if this person has saved only 30% at a mere 6% investment. The corpus would be close to 8 crore of rupees. That is a huge amount of money. If 8 crores is coming tax free from any instrument, and if the return is 7%, it is going to be close to 8.5 crores. That's big, big money for you. So the power is not only in the rate, the power is in the period as well. What are loans and borrowings? What is good debt and bad debt? Buying instruments that you need, buying goods that you need for your consumption is not a bad debt, like a home loan, a computer loan, a student's education loan, or a business loan, which you are there to grow your market share. But buying loans for lifestyle, like credit cards. Now, a lot of people flaunt that they have 10 credit cards and 9 credit cards, and whatever be the scenario. Having maximum number of cards doesn't show that you're a rich man. People have taken loans for traveling. Surprisingly, auto loans were famous, but today lifestyle loans are also there, and they're also payday loans. Now you will see a lot of P2P has started. People are financing people who do not get loans from banks. So individual financing has also started. So some loans are good, some loans are bad. In Punjabi, there is an old saying, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਦਾਲ ਸਵਾਦੀ ਤੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਦਾਲ ਬਾਦੀ. The same dal can be very beautiful in taste and loving to eat for some people, whereas some people will get acidity from the same dal. So loans can be good and can be bad. And Warren Buffett says this statement, you would have all heard it. If you keep on buying the things that you don't need, very soon you will have to sell the things that you need the most. The next topic we are touching today is asset allocation. Asset allocation is a very beautiful way of creating wealth. Not all instruments should be in one bucket. This is an old saying, all your eggs cannot be in one bucket. So should be exposure to equities, there should be exposure to debt, gold, real estate. Everything is required. Now, I simply compare this with the food platter. हम इंडियंस थाली खाते हैं तो थाली में थोड़ी दाल, थोड़े चावल, रोटी या पूड़ी, अचार, दही एंड एक स्वीट भी होता है. What is it? It is a balanced diet. So we getting the best of everything. As I said, if you are fed with an apple 365 days, three times a day, trust me, after a week or so, you will never look at an apple again. So that is also in money terms, it is also required for asset allocation. This is one of my favorite topics. Probably I can talk on hours for this. The power of compounding. I will use very, very simple formulas in this to teach you. Just listen and read the simple sheet. If 72 is divided by rate, it is only telling you in what time your money doubles. Everybody will be knowing about this. This is no rocket science. But if that rate of return is replaced with rate of inflation, understand that the amount that you're spending today will be required double if the inflation is 6% in 12 years. And if the rate of return is 18% or 9%, in 8 years, the money required would be double. This is an alarm for the youngsters to understand. Very soon, you will be standing in the shoes of your parents, close to retirement. The cost of living was very low 20, 30 years ago. But today, if you look at your habits, we never had a 300 rupee coffee, though we enjoy the coffee today at Starbucks, Cafe Coffee Day, and all these places. But if you ask a person who's in 45s and 50s that our coffee cost was 2 rupees and 1 rupee for a tea during our college days. And that was a luxury, trust me. And today, 300 rupees is not a luxury. I am just trying to tell you that inflation will take a bite on your savings. So, if the power of compounding is not on your side, you will have a hard time. Now, have you seen people in their 60s and plus yet struggling and working? Not because they love the work, it is they have to do the work because they have overheads. They have the household expense to manage and they have some dependence on their income. That is the reason they are coming to work. I believe most of you, if you plan your things good, you should retire by 40s. Early 40s should be your target. What are financial goals? The most important thing, as we spoke about the Ola and Uber app, where you want to reach, first, please define that. I have kept it in the slide a few things which people would want to. These are the normal goals people have. Travel is one of them. Most of the people you meet, they say that we want to have a travel goal, we want a bigger house, we want a bigger car, I want my child's education, I want my child's marriage, and I want to retire safely. And I want to be free from the financial needs of my day to day requirements. So these are some of the financial goals. But your current income does not guarantee you a lifestyle throughout your life. This is a question mark for all those youngsters who have been born with a silver and a golden spoon by their parents. Understand whatever you are earning and whatever you are spending today, to maintain that lifestyle also is going to be a task if there is no inflow of income which is at par matching with your expenses. And circumstances and needs always keep changing. You see, pandemic, the circumstances has changed. A lot of people have foreseen their retirement in this period. There are a lot of people who did not plan for 6 or 8 months of lockdown and they've suffered. And there have been people who've been talking about abundance. I would talk about the real hero, which is actually one of the real heroes, Mr. Sonu Sood. Look at him. He is not only taking care of his, he's also probably losing money because there are not shoots happening, no movies coming up. But he has helped hundreds and thousands of people get back to their homes. There are so many role models like him. People have been providing free food on the streets just for the people who are not able to manage their day to day expenses. One thing which I have noticed, why the rich are always stable and the middle class people are struggling. I would like to add the statement while in this session, very important, what you can make a note of. The rich are always rich because they keep contingency margins, whereas the average person who's living check to check is bowled out with every googly bowled by the real world. Anything going wrong in one person in the family, be it a health contingency, a disease, or be it a death, the three Ds, what we call in the financial world, death, disability, and disease, can actually ruin the path of the family members because they are living check to check. There is no contingency. And by the time, even if you have some savings, one big jerk can take away 10 years of savings. One hospital bill can take away 10 years of savings. And if there is no continuation of income, the survival will be very difficult. We know a lot of people who've come down that the bread earner had got such a beautiful lifestyle for them, but suddenly a loss due to of income due to any reason, being the factory being shut down, or the person who is working is no more, or his job loss is there, or there is a disability permanent in nature, suddenly the incomes dry out. There is no savings, and if there is savings in instruments like fancy jewelry, houses, and all, sometimes they have to sell those to maintain the basic lifestyle and hospital needs. Today's sound position in financial world does not guarantee an equally sound future for yourself. So making money and saving money is far important. It is not important the instruments that you choose. In today's workshop, we are not talking about any financial instrument. We are not talking about anything except for basic concepts. Why do these circumstances change? As I spoke about, loss of regular income, that could be because of the three Ds, impulsive buying, and buying because they have to maintain an image in the society. This is one of the impulsive reasons, and you will see that people are losing money, just they cannot afford it, and they are getting EMIs for their phones also. They're getting EMIs for their holidays, but end up they pay more money than the normal person would have. Uninsured losses of health, property, and life, we spoke about. Unplanned frequent borrowings. Borrowing because it is very simple to swipe your card and not bother when to pay back. Poor tax planning. Tax planning doesn't mean that you have to manage your books. That is evasion of tax. Tax planning means what you imagine you would be earning, paying your advance taxes, making provisions for the deductions which are legally, ethically allowed by the government, and taking care of them and moving forward. Change in life cycles. Now, what does this exactly? I would elaborate on. You are a businessman or you are an entrepreneur, or let's put it, we're talking to youngsters. So your parents are businessmen and entrepreneurs. Very soon you will take over the business, and the parents willingly will be happily giving the business to the youngsters because they want their children to do better than them. They want the children to take onus, responsibility, and growth has to be on the children's head. But what happens? The father who has given the business to the child, is he financially stable after handing over the business? We have seen some sad circumstances wherein Mr. Raymond, the complete man, is fighting a case in court against his son for his basic livelihood expenses. There is a small 5 lakhs compared to the 12,500 crores that he has earned. So this is Kahani Ghar Ghar Ki. It is not only specific to the rich people. Even for a common man, the life cycle changes. When you feel your body is tired and you cannot work more, you will be more than happy to delegate the business to your children. Business will be taken over by them. But will you be able to survive post that? Economic changes we spoke about. What is basically financial planning? Financial planning is a roadmap. a roadmap to reach your destination of financial goals. In this journey, you have to keep taxes and inflation as a factor, and also you have to negate the effects of what ifs of life. What if I am not there? What if the job is not there? What if the business does not survive? All these what ifs, the negation has to be thrown out to a great extent. Financial planning is just a simple roadmap, and it has to be monitored regularly by a professional. Can we go to the next? What are the key components? As we spoke about being an Ola app, what is your current financial position? That is the most important thing to start on. What are your investment planning strategies depending upon your risk appetite? The Financial Planning Boards of India as well as USA is planning to get a subject of financial psychology into the basic course of financial planners, because investment is more of a mind game than a money game. We all know the numbers, we understand the numbers, but we don't understand the what the investor wants. Most of the time when the markets are good, even today's terms, a lot of investors want to invest in equities and equity products because they are lured by the returns. But once the market tanks by 10, 20, 30%, they are the ones, the first ones to leave the ship, like the rats. What happens? They are the only ones who make losses. Once you have understood the psyche of the investor, only then you should be talking about the products. Insurance planning is a must, we spoke about. Retirement planning is mandatory. And mandatory at whose age? Now, I'll just go back a little. When we used to meet people in 25s and 30s, they used to say, we've just started our jobs. It's too early to talk about retirement. In 35s and 40s, children are just started school, so money is required for tuitions and other requirements are there, so we don't have money to save. By their 45s and 50s, children have started college, they have higher school, so there is no money to for planning. And in 50s and 55, children are to get married. By the time they are free at the 60s, they don't have time to plan. That is the reason they don't have money, and in their retirement ages they are yet struggling and working hard. But look at it as a 25-year-old person. You, with your first salary, plan for your retirement funding in the instruments of your choice. We never say instruments are our choice. We always talk about instruments of your choice, but we explain each and every instrument to you. And tax planning is mandatory. Now, this is a timeline. I would like you to see this, how it runs. At 2021, where we are today, we find out what you want, your today's position, and what you aspire for, and we start planning for that. Further, by 2025, youngsters would probably be getting married or would be wanting for further education. 10 years down the line, there would be children's admissions happening, because most of you who have just seen the age brackets, most of you are in the range of 25, 15 to 25, and some of you are in between 25 and 35. So most of the children's admissions will be in that scenario. Children's higher school would be there in 2040. By 2045, they would be graduating and going for their masters. By 2050, you would be retiring. I put it in pink because you will be in the pink of health at this age, and your spouse retirement will be near behind you in a couple of years. Now, by 2053, your passive income should be equal to your living and lifestyle expenses. Now, what is living and lifestyle difference between the two? Living expenses is your kitchen bills and your grocery bills and your clothes and shelter. Lifestyle is your phones, your travel, the gifts and the restaurants that you like to visit. All that comes in the lifestyle. So generally the living expenses don't go bad. It is our lifestyle expenses that take a hit on us. First of all, I would tell all of you to define your priorities and make timelines as per we just discussed. Go to the next. Now, what is the right time to start financial planning? This is a question probably most of the people who have met us in the last 10 years have asked. And the only thing they say that I wish I met you 10 years before today's date. So this is the one thing which I have no reply for, but I would say the best time to start financial planning is now. And who should do your financial planning? I am giving you the crust. You can start with the basics on your own. But trust me, if you have a financial advisor in your life, it'll be much easier because repairing your own mobile phone or your own watch is not always a right choice. As we spoke about, people generally spend lavishly on their needs. Sorry, not on their needs, on their wants. The difference between needs and wants we just explained. Needs are your living expenses, wants are unsatisfied lifelong, because it is a common say, once you satisfy one of their want, the other want will spring up to a larger extent without you knowing about it. uh, there is one saying, it is said that as the income grows, expenses match accordingly. But when the income falls, the expenses cannot fall accordingly. So, what does it mean? It is Parkinson's law. It says as the money coming to the house increases, automatically your spending increases because you don't know what to do with the money. Most of the people who won a lottery go bankrupt within 3 to 5 years. We have a lot of celebrities in our life we've heard and read about, right from the boxer Mike Tyson to Boris Becker. They have seen the best of the worlds and today they're struggling for their basics. Mindless use of credit cards. I would say for your wants, you should spend cash because every rupee that goes out from your hand should be seen twice that it's not going to come back. And is that product that you're buying, is it worth or no? That is the first thing. Caring little about small savings. Most of the time you will hear people, ये 2-2.5 हजार की saving से क्या होगा या 50,000 महीना होगा तभी save करेंगे. So that is not the right attitude. You can save as low as 500 rupees a month and you can start your savings with as little as you want because that will give you a taste and that will give you the power to invest more. And investing based on half knowledge. Most of the youngsters today want crypto. I don't know how many of you have already invested. I'm not saying it is bad, good, legal, illegal. I'm not defying the fact. I am just telling what do you know about it? Ask every instrument, be it a mutual fund, be it a tax saver, be it a Bitcoin, or be it a dollar, or you're investing in foreign currencies or foreign uh, companies through mutual funds. Ask the questions till you are satisfied, convinced to put your hard earned money, put your money then. Don't put in your parents' money for savings because you will not feel the pain if it is lost. Yes, if it is a saving and a safe bet, you can go ahead with your parents' money. But where in crypto, or it is as good as 7 up, 7 down, we youngsters used to play in our times. I don't know if you guys have ever played about it. What are the myths? Myths of money. I have a lot of money or I have too little of money. For me, financial planning is not the right path. I can create wealth so I can manage it wealth myself. Again, a myth. Financial planning is very tedious and time consuming. Absolute myth. I can do my tax planning any time of the year. Most of the people you will see in the last week of March would look around for ELSS funds or tax savers or put money in some instrument which they have not thought of. It is just because the ATC deadline is there. That is the reason in the end of the year they are doing something. I will leave the world in my walking shoes. This is one statement which I've heard so many people say कि मुझे पैसा बचाने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, मैं अपने आखिरी दम तक काम करूंगा. Trust me, the future ahead, we have seen people with Alzheimer's, we've seen people with physical disabilities, we've seen people with so many ailments which they never thought of. And the best and the most healthiest people you would note have been contacted with terminal disease like cancer or anything like such, which is so harmful and painful for them. So it's not that you would be earning for life and you will manage all your expenses. It is said very commonly your expenses start a few months before you are born. Trust me, that is a fact. And the expenses are there a few years after you have left this world also. In all religions, there is some or the other prayer ceremony happening on the year, the 10th year, the 5th year, God knows what all happens. So your earning span is only between 21s till 60, which ideally should be the best earning span for you. Four common financial fears. What if I cannot work up to 60 years? Yes, it is possible. It can happen. What if I don't reach 60 years? Means you lost your life before that. And how much is needed to retire? Can I ensure my children start a life with great right foundations? All these fears can be matched with different instruments. There is no one key to all the problems in life. Understand asset allocation. Each of the tool can be used so beautifully to take care of your requirements. And what are the four common goals? We want to generate income replacement. Second, to ensure dependents get taken care of if I'm not there, and saving up to enjoy the same lifestyle when I want to retire. Start saving up enough money for children's education. So these are the common goals. We want something, but we won't get it. This applies to me first. I wish to lose weight, but I am not able to do so. Then, when I was doing this reading a few weeks ago, I realized my mistakes. I do not track the food that I eat, and I do no exercise. Same thing is coming to my mind for financial planning. I do not track my expenses. I do not work on my leakages. And so I do not lose weight or I do not create wealth. You can map it the way you want. Why do we say we want to be rich? We all want to be rich because we want to have dash, dash, and dash. Everything is full of wants, but you need to prioritize what you want first. Thumb rules. I'm coming to the end of the session because we'll have few minutes after that to talk about what we are discussed. If there is any question answers, take baby steps. Start small. Don't wait for that very day when you will have a large capital to start. If you think of investing 10 lakhs over the period of a year or something, start with 10,000 if you have 10,000. If you have 5,000, start with 5,000. As low as 500, do that. If you have 100 rupees, put it in a piggy bank or a savings account. Do something with it. Just don't let the money be idle, because one statement which I will get it copyrighted soon: money evaporates. You see the money kept, and within a few days, you did not spend it, but the money evaporated. This is one thing most of you might have felt it in your wallets too. Create the best product, and that is you. This is not only a financial workshop, this is also talking to the youth what is to be done. Why should someone be working with you? Create yourself as a product or service you wish to be. Believing in yourself is the secret to success. Your worth. Now, even if I am given a job to clean the floor, I should clean it so well that the Almighty on top, looking at me, should say that this boy has done a good job. That is what your worth is. Develop confidence. Now, this one slide, which you see a small cat seeing himself as a tiger. Now, I like to share one statement which I learned very early in my life. You can buy knowledge. You can buy a doctor, an engineer, a scientist, anything that you want, you can buy. Can you buy confidence? Don't break your confidence, or don't let anybody break your confidence, because confidence के बगैर कोई भी चीज काम की नहीं है. If you're confident about what you are and what you can achieve, nobody can turn you down. It'll be a struggle. You may have to, from a cat to become a tiger, you might have to fight a few battles, but it is worth everything. But if you lose it yourself, I don't think so anybody can help you. So the goal is to stop being afraid and stop talking to random people about money. I have seen people talking about money. उनके खुद के finances का ठिकाना नहीं है, but they will give, like I joke around in some of my talks. You'll find people smoking a big BD or having a cutting chai opposite the stock exchange. A few years ago, I used to go there. We used to see that happening. People in Mercedes getting down from their cars and taking tips from the guys who were smoking a BD. आज कौन सा शेयर बढ़ेगा. And even if they were right, they couldn't do good for themselves. So first, I would suggest everybody is do good for yourself, develop your confidence. Expertise is required in the work that you do. Seek ambitious people. Trust me, that is the reason this workshop is conducted, because I want youngsters, people with the zeal to work with. That is the reason I'm here, to learn from you all. What did you plan? That is one question you should ask yourself. Why did you do it? And why did you not do it? If you planned for something and if you've achieved it, find out the reasons why you wanted to do it. And if you've not succeeded, give a reason. Find the reason why you couldn't do it. Add value first. With this workshop, I'm also trying to add value to your knowing about the financial subject, and only then can we move forward in life. If your presence doesn't add value, your absence won't make a difference much to anybody. It's also a saying that if your goals are not well defined, if you don't know where you want to go, which direction you're moving is not an importance to you. So first define where you want to go and then choose your path. Definition of success according to me: find one passion which you are happy doing it even if it is not making money for you. But what if that passion becomes the success story? Passion starts paying you. I think you will be one of the happiest people like me who are enjoying life because they love what they do and they do it only if they are happy doing it. Nobody can make work done out of us. Financial freedom. Purposely, I have kept the slide very light. Financial freedom does not mean a bank balance. It's the me time that you buy for yourself. What is me time? Is basically buy your time back. जो टाइम आप काम कर चुके हो या करना चाहते हो, or what you've been doing till now, be happy for that and keep time for yourself. Keep time not only for yourself but for your aspirations, your dreams, your family, your friends, and what you can do best for the society at large. Buy back time for yourself. My gifts for your time invested today. This is what I commit to all of you. How can I add value to your lives? Where do you need to get control in your life? How can you buy back your time? For these questions, you can book an appointment with us. It is no cost to you because you invested your time with us. This is our give back to you. साखियां सुनाते थे मम्मी पापा जब भी हम छोटे थे कि there was one man who was walking with his shoes in his hands. After a few minutes, with a pashmina shawl, he used to wipe his shoes. The shoes were hardly costing something. Pashmina shawls are one of the most expensive shawls. So when somebody asked him, after every 15-20 minutes, you remove your shoes, keep in your hand, wipe it with your pashmina shawl. What's wrong with you? What is there in these shoes? And why is you using pashmina to clean them? So this guy said, these shoes I paid for. This is from my hard-earned money. And the old man asked him, what about the pashmina? This is my father's money, na? He bought it for me. और आप कमाई और बाप कमाई में यही फर्क होता है that when you start earning and you start investing and taking the risk will be much more easier for you to define your priorities rather than going for risky instruments at a young age. Learn it. It's not bad. The first question what I normally ask everybody when they want to invest: when do you need the money? For what are you investing? What is your risk appetite? What if the capital is lost by 15, 20%, 30%? How would you react? Answer a few of my questions, then I'll give you a bundle of investment choices. From the bottom of my heart, I'd like to thank you, to say that we had a great time talking to you. Okay. We are sharing our channel link. We've just started a YouTube channel. We are sharing our LinkedIn as well as our YouTube channel links. So you can keep in touch over there. And if you feel that you want to get back some interesting videos, you can subscribe to it. They will be, sorry, only on money and life, because these are the only two things we understand and we talk. I think it was okay. What do you feel, buddy?